Before you step on stage, you can relate it to somebody who goes into a field or runs across a field, and you feel very free because it's a very wide space. It almost feels unlimited, and therefore you can really free yourself and be who you truly are. And I guess it is the same kind of feeling when you step on stage. You are just the most honest who you are, and that gives you a lot of courage to take over that space. So each time when you step onto a new stage or onto a new floor that you haven't tried before, it's like a new relationship. So you have to start building a connection and gain trust so that you really know how to deal with it, how much force you can take. It's a very mental process, of course, but for that you have to be physically there, and you need time to try some movements, some steps.
Eine dieser Platten wiegt ja fast an die 40 Kilo, 38 Kilo, die dann halt verlegt werden müssen. Also wir haben bei großen Handlungsballetten, da legen wir den Boden sehr weit, also fast 20 mal 20 Meter, also 400 Quadratmeter an diesem sogenannten Schwingboden. Und das ist natürlich eine Fläche, die jedes Mal vor jeder Vorstellung oder auch vor jeder Probe sogar ausgelegt werden muss. Bei einer Ballettproduktion oder einer Tanzproduktion ist der Unterschied zum Boden natürlich der, dass wir hier, das, was man hier sehen kann, das Grüne ist ein Elastomer, der unter einer Multiplexplatte und einer Schutzplatte geklebt ist und entsprechend halt die Schockabsorbierung von Sprüngen gewährleistet.
When I think of the floors in my career, I think about the presence of each room and space that I walk into, and how I have an effect on that space and energy, and how others before have had an effect on that as well. It's like you make your mark wherever you step. On each floor you dance on, it's your personality added to however many people were dancing on that floor before you. I don't know, there's obviously a deeper meaning than just the floor.
Where are the arms and the feet? I can see that.
Each step you take, people remember a feeling that is given to them. So I do think there is an imprint, there is a stamp, but it's not a stamp that you can see. It's not visible.
Beim Produktion Passagen, da haben wir einmal einen schwarzen und einen grauen Boden liegen. Wie man hier sieht, wird es in Rollen ausgelegt. Das ist im Prinzip 1,2 mm PVC und der wird verklebt auf dem Boden, dass der Boden halt eine gewisse Griffigkeit kriegt. Genau, wir legen als erstes natürlich den Boden, der zuletzt spielt, und dann darauf kommt der Boden, der dann als erstes spielt, und der wird dann in der Pause runtergenommen. Also entfernen ist einfacher als wieder aufkleben, weil da braucht man schon ein bisschen Erfahrung. Das machen die Kollegen aus der Deko-Abteilung mit Geräten, mit Abrollern. Da braucht man eine gewisse Erfahrung, um einfach gerade Klebebandrollen aufzukleben.
For me, the stage is a territory that you have to really own. So it's your land, and you are really dominating it. You are the king or the queen of that field. So these both choreographies where I'm involved, so Alexei Ratmansky's Pictures at an Exhibition and David Dawson's Affairs of the Heart are very much based on classical technique. In Affairs of the Heart, it's more abstract. Maybe that's beautiful that there's no subject really, or there is no story that is written. The movement language itself is very liquid somehow. If in terms of colors, Affairs of the Heart, I don't know if it's dark or light, but I'm sure that it's a very deep color.
For David Dawson's piece, it's very interesting how he works with the patterning and the floor and the way that the dancers run around the stage. It's very calculated. With Görke, it's the way you connect with the floor is more rigid at points, and actually it's pretty connected all the time. In Marco's work, it's very strong on the floor. You know, these movements are very hard on the ground, and it's intense work, especially using the floor and stomping and the strength in presence.